To quote a great song, he better not break up with me. Andre Cordova.
I forgot already. Can we start again? Sorry. In my case, already. I'm so sorry. Take 2.
Yep.
Okay. In my case, he already did. Josh James.
And welcome to
Sabotage.
Welcome back, Josh.
Thanks for having me back, bitch.
Another episode for season 4. So we're here to talk about breakups today.
It's my favorite topic.
It really is, because he hasn't shut the fuck up about it for the past 3 months.
Yeah, my poor friends and my poor family.
For real. There needs to be like a support group for people associated with someone who can't get the fuck over a breakup.
I'm sure something like that exists out there, but
Probably.
I need to sign the fuck up. But yes.
Breakups is like it's the next stage in the sequence of subjects that we've spoken about before.
Okay.
Like we've talked about dating, romance, and now it's breakups.
Yep.
So tell me why we're discussing breakups today.
Yeah, well, I've been through the most traumatic breakup of my life 3 months ago, and it's still not sitting right with me. We were supposed to go no contact, and I was just very depressed and very alone, and I reached out to my ex. He responded at some points and then decided we needed to go full no contact, but he kept me unblocked on WhatsApp. I don't know what he was doing. He was playing games, obviously. He wanted to taunt me.
Yep. But that's an interesting topic in regards to going no contact or not. I do think that in a lot of cases, majority of cases when you break up with somebody, that you should.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're not going to move on.
I know.
Like it's just next to impossible to do so.
And that's like the biggest regret I have with handling this breakup was just not accepting that it was over. I think I was really still quite attached to him, and it was a blind side, but some of my actions led to the end of it.
That's not entirely accurate. For the purposes of discussing the latest ex, he will be known as Shrek.
Shrek.
God, he's so ugly.
In my opinion, like he was good looking in my eyes.
No.
I think Andre and I have very different types, so.
Your type is anyone who will have you. That's not a type, bitch. That means like no standards.
I think, I think it was the personality that made me.
He has a terrible personality. You know this. You came to us before you two got together
in February,
and you listed the things that he did, which were very problematic.
They were questionable things.
Yeah, all the red flags, and we're like, well, obviously don't get with him.
And I continued to stay with him because, like, I guess, I don't know, I had attachment issues and I wanted
And it's the loneliness.
Yeah, and I guess I just wanted to see if he would change.
This is a lesson for if you don't know this already, because it is quite commonly known.
Yeah.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Fucking believe them, bitch. Yeah. You cannot go changing somebody else.
Yeah.
Someone can decide for themselves to become better for both them and you. That's a different story.
Right.
But you cannot... There's no like, oh, I can fix him. Fuck off, bitch. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
No.
Not gonna happen.
No. So like at the beginning of... We weren't dating yet. We were like in the talking stage, and he was like, he said to me that he wanted to have sex before we got together, to see if we were compatible, which was like fair enough. But I felt kind of pressured. He was like saying things that made me feel pressured into doing it when I wasn't ready.
He turned it into an ultimatum.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, most guys would have left by now.
Yes. Oh my God. I
quite literally said that.
He said that, and then he was like, we met up one time. Obviously, he wanted both of us to get tested before we were going to do it. And so we met up one time, and he was like, oh, have you been tested yet? And I was like, yes. He was like, oh, good, because if you weren't, I would have given you a week and dumped you.
And that's the guy he chose to date, everyone. Such a solid start.
I know, but, it's life.
That's not...
But yeah, I think I thought it was a bit off, but he made a compromise, which was he was going to ask me out without us having sex first because I just wasn't ready.
That's not a compromise. He used... Okay, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, he literally pressured you and then gave you an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Before resorting to this, okay, well, it can happen after then. Purely because we were very much saying to you, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Do not hook up with this man.
Yeah.
Because to focus on the breakup side.
Sorry.
Which is like, yeah, going no contact is very important.
Yes. I mean, especially if it was a toxic situation, and
it absolutely was.
By the end, like, it was toxic, and
if they were a good person, then yes, you would feel regrets and you would feel guilt and be like, okay, I didn't act better, I didn't behave better, and I actually lost something. But in this case, you acted out based off the way he had been treating you. And it's only natural to come to that conclusion of just maybe going off the rails a little bit, which we're not going to get into it. But knowing the situation and what happened, it really wasn't that big a fucking deal at all. However, he's made you think that it is because he broke up with you.
Yeah.
And the reality of the situation is that he's not mad that you did it. He's mad that he got caught.
Right.
Ultimately, it was a good thing. And look,
I struggled to see that, but
the fact that you still struggle to see it is like actually a problem because it's been 3 months since you broke up and you were together for like 3 days. So it's kind of crazy that you're this
we were together for 3 days.
During the relationship, you were saying that he was more sex oriented and you're not. There was incompatibility there.
I think we have different sex values. Sex is a lot more important to him than it is to me.
Exactly.
Like, it's not at the forefront of my mind. I'm all about building a connection with someone. So I think that's where we were mismatched in a way.
Even if you want to ignore all the red flags, which there were a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I had red flags too.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to lie. You are like incredibly problematic, but in a totally different way.
I don't want this to be like a slander thing just fully against him. Like, I will have to like own and, you know.
You should be owning the fact that you haven't moved on. Own the fact that you are quite a lonely person who has been holding on to something that wasn't good just because you had them for like...
Josh, you're quite a lonely person, hun.
And I put that nicely. I put that nicely, bitch.
Even Greg's like, what the fuck?
I am refraining so much from saying how I truly feel.
Oh my God. I mean, now I am lonely without a boyfriend.
You were lonely before that. That's the thing. Like, literally go watch our previous episodes where we talk about dating and romance because there were signs. And that's how I've known him as a person this whole time. Like, you've always wanted a boyfriend.
Yeah. I've craved something.
That's what I mean, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting that.
Yeah.
But to be so obsessed with it that you're willing to forego and sacrifice any semblance of standards, any self-respect with how they're treating you, like, fuck off.
I don't know.
I'm being a little harsh about that, but that is how I feel because you shouldn't be sacrificing those things for the sake of having a boyfriend.
Yeah. So I think we can disagree to... What's the saying?
Agree to disagree.
Yeah. Agree to disagree on that one. But,
And I disagree with that.
We'll just leave it at that because, like, you know...
here's the other thing
I don't want him to be painted out to be as a total bad person in this relationship.
Well, tough because he kind of is. But going back to the original point, you all were supposed to go no contact. The only reason he kept that contact in place is so that he could manipulate you into continuing to believe that you were the problem, you caused the end of the relationship, you should feel bad about this, you should feel guilty about this. He wants you to think that you've lost the love of your life, which you absolutely fucking haven't.
That's how I felt, like, though, in the moment.
I know that's how you felt in the moment, and that is totally fair.
He kept WhatsApp unblocked. And then
he was taunting you.
Yeah, and then he was.
Does a good person do that?
I don't know. He was posting petty stories on WhatsApp stories,
which no one uses. That's how you know as well. It's like no one uses the fucking platform or the feature of the platform.
And then my toxic ass was responding and posting my own toxic quotes back. And that's the fucking issue. Like, I just kept responding and he feeding him.
Because that's what they do.
What he wanted.
That's what people like that leave you with crumbs.
Yeah. It was sad.
Yeah, you're forever following that trail. Yeah. Which is not good. It's not healthy. And that is not how you move on from a breakup.
Yeah. FYI, Andre has hated him since I told him.
Obviously, you literally told us just now before about the things that he said and the things that he did. Yeah. Just a few of them.
I mean, I told like all my girlfriends at work and outside of work. And
they all agreed.
They literally told me to leave. And I was like, I just can't.
And that's what I mean. So you literally cannot dispute what I'm saying as far as your loneliness goes because you were latching on to something that you knew was not good. Even if you ignore the toxic stuff, you were not compatible.
Yeah. I mean,
and you still chose to go through with it.
In the end, like, he did like do sentimental good things for me.
Okay, just because he bought you dinner.
He cooked me dinner.
Okay.
I'm wearing one of the earrings he bought me.
Why?
For my birthday. I just haven't.
Oh no! I mean, you can keep that stuff.
Yeah.
When people buy you,
the other one fell out. Well, I mean, the other one started bleeding.
That is so. Like, you know what? That is so on brand for that relationship. It's really reflective. Yeah. That makes sense.
So this ear got infected, but anyway, and the earring's covered in blood now. Yeah, so he did sentimental things for me, like bought me gifts, bought me flowers for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, whoop-de-fucking-do. He did, like, basic shit that a boyfriend does.
I know, and I realised myself, like, I needed to make more of an effort. Like, I've never had something as deep and meaning or, like, romantic as this relationship. Okay, let me just say this, okay? Don't cut me off now. I never had something... All my previous relationships have been surface level relationships where there was not deep feelings invested. And so this relationship was my first serious kind of one where I had invested feelings, and I think he did as well. Where was I going with that?
Well, okay, I think that's why it was so difficult
to
handle, which I understand. Like, I totally get that, especially when you've only really had surface level relationships. They didn't last long, neither did this, but maybe a bit longer than the previous ones. Yeah. And I can understand how you would come to that conclusion. However, it, again, simply comes back to this notion of throwing away any self-respect. Throwing away any sense of, like, doesn't make sense for us to be together, you know? Like, are we actually right for each other? Because that answer is no.
I mean, I should have probably looked at the start and knew that our sex values were different, but we got along so well that I just wanted to continue. And I was like, I'll deal with that later. And
I'll deal with that later. Let's like fucking shelf this ultimatum issue and the sex issue.
Yes.
That is okay. Not the best way to approach it. Not ideal.
No.
You know, you gotta be on the same footing.
Yeah.
And on the same page. Yeah. When you start a relationship, you need a strong foundation.
I was trying to get myself ready because I felt pressured. I was like, okay, well, I'll do it just for him. And then it got to the day that we were going to have sex. Like, we planned a day for it. And then I was like, I was so nervous. I was feeling sick about it. I was just like, I'm not ready for this.
Do you see what I mean? This is what I've had to deal with. Like, he knows and he says these things and you can hear yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you understand the premise of what you're talking about, but then you still excuse it. Yeah. And that's what drives me crazy. It's the fact that you should not be feeling that way about being intimate with someone.
Right.
Especially a boyfriend, especially a love interest, someone you're dating, someone you have a crush on.
Yeah.
You should not be feeling sick to your stomach at the thought of having sex because you've been pressured into it.
I know.
So
anyway.
Men are trash.
I mean, yeah. I'm trash too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know this.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Especially when you have BPD. My God, it's hard to let go. I had to learn that skill. And I understand that it's difficult for everyone, regardless. But when you have BPD, it makes you fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's very full on. I get it, and I do have regrets. I've made mistakes post-breakup, for sure. Absolutely. They're not fun. You're heartbroken.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense when you've been together for longer than 3 fucking months, but, you know, that's like how long you were together for.
But can I just say...
In relation to Shrek.
We met actually in October, like, of last year, and we went on 2 dates and then we had a break.
You don't have a break from...
Well, he wasn't ready.
You're not together. He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready to pursue something serious, so...
That's why he was dating.
He just wanted to be friends, yeah.
That makes so much sense.
And then, remember at Zoe's birthday in January, that's when I rekindled with him.
God fucking damn it.
Is that what you just said? God fucking damn it. But yeah, so like I felt like it was... I really manifested and hoped and prayed that we would reconnect during our break. But anyway, yeah, it's over now. That's all gone now. Good job, Josh.
Definitely have things I'm ashamed of in regards to how I behaved. But to be fair, the majority of that was pre-diagnosis. So I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was just like emotionally unstable. So there's that. On the flip side, there are exceptions. My ex, who is now my housemate because he's like family to me. And that worked out.
Yeah.
Because we didn't go no contact because like we had lived together and then he moved out because I broke up with him. Because like we just weren't right for each other. So we had that time apart.
Yes.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
And like we lived apart.
And you didn't speak?
No, we did, but it wasn't regular by any means. It was just...
It wasn't what it was when you were in a relationship.
No. Nothing like that.
Yes.
But again, very different circumstances because neither of us were bad people. We were incompatible and we'd had issues.
Yes.
Because of like his autism and my BPD were basically polar opposites of each other.
Right.
Like that was messy in a relationship. There was a lot of like clashing. But we were able to develop it into a friendship. And the only way that we could end up living together was by accepting and going through that awkward phase of, you know, seeing how the other person will hook up with other people.
Yeah.
That's when it's like really nail in the coffin. Okay, once you're past that, we're good. As exes. We can coexist and be more than that and become family. Yeah. Because...
Must be nice. Yeah. Being amicable with an ex. None of my exes I'm amicable with at all. I mean, my first boyfriend, we were amicable for a while, but then we stopped. And then he just ghosted me. So
I think it's rarer than people would have you believe. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm friends with all of my exes. Yeah, because you're fucking toxic. Like, that's what that is. There is no way in hell, unless by some freak of nature, you've had healthy relationships the entire time and all of those people are good people and it just didn't work because of incompatibility. Unless those factors are involved, then no, you're a fucking liar. Yes. Maybe it was an amicable ending, but you just don't talk anymore. Yeah. Or like, you know what I mean? It's just
drift apart.
Yeah. Or that's well and good. But to say that you're friends with all of your exes, I'd say that's super problematic. And I reckon it's only because you're still sleeping with them. Yeah. So it's like,
friends with benefits.
That's the reality of it. Because then a lot of the time, and it happens with the straights, because the straights are not okay. Then the men get really... No, both of them, either or. They get super like jealous and shit. They start having an issue when you're seeing somebody new and this and that. Yeah. Whereas in my case with Kim, he is so supportive of my relationship with Benji, has driven me to his place. Yes. Plenty of times. Yes. I'm usually also transporting Lucifer to have a play date with Atreus, Benji's cat. So
that's so cute.
They love each other.
Do they get along? Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's good.
They fucking love each other. They play wrestle all the time.
That's how you know it's meant to be. If your cats get along, then you guys are meant to be forever.
Also though, it's giving, like, our relationship is very black cat, orange cat energy. You know what I mean? Have you seen that, like, online? Yeah. And we quite literally have a black cat and orange cat. So it's perfect. And it's
all meant to be. The universe, the stars are aligned.
I know.
For Andre and Benji.
Because I'm fucking awesome. And I dealt with my issues. That's why it works. So, and even then, look, I'm still like combating some of them, like the CPTSD. It's not perfect. And
sorry, what's CPST? Whatever you just said. Yep.
CPTSD is complex post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So it usually comes out in a relationship.
Okay.
Or the previous abuse and negative experiences.
Did this come out for you in your current relationship with Benji?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Benji is my first healthy relationship.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, for real, he's amazing. And it is the first healthy one, but that's where, like, all the issues come out because I've only ever known abuse. And I've only ever known toxic, unhealthy relationships.
Yeah. I was pretty intense in my... Sorry to make it about me, but again... But I can be a pretty intense partner. My most recent ex, he was very patient and he gave me a lot of chances.
That's not that, no.
Andre, we're never going to see eye to eye on my most recent ex.
No, because I have fucking standards, bitch. Like, and men ain't shit.
Yeah.
Men ain't fucking shit. And here you are, groveling for one who treated you like crap. Get it the fuck together.
Okay.
My God. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
I find it hard to be friends with you sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, when it comes to this, just when it comes to having that self-respect, that self-confidence, self-esteem, to be like, no, I deserve better. I should be treated better.
Yeah.
This is inexcusable behavior. Like, I need that to rub off on you, please. Okay. You've literally told me before, oh, it's like so good being friends with you. I've been learning this and that. Like, I've become more confident. And it's like, can you learn to love yourself now? Because that's what's missing here.
Okay.
It's just, I cannot imagine. Okay, I've said this before. One of the reasons I get so heated is because the way that you've been behaving, feeling, acting, whatever, is what I have previously been through.
Okay.
And in my case, it was like times a million. It was like 1,000 times worse.
Yeah.
I hated how I used to be. I'm ashamed of how I used to be. I can take responsibility and acknowledge that. Like, in spite of the fact that it's understandable and I wasn't diagnosed and this, that, yada, yada. Like, it's still really hard to watch someone I care about not care about themselves.
Oh, you care about me? Yeah.
Obviously. I gave you credit for the fact that it wasn't that bad.
Right.
Firstly, because it wasn't, but also because I know you to be a very good person. To hear you say things like, I was a bad person too. No, that's not how that works. You can make mistakes, sure.
Yeah.
But the way that you act day to day, the way that you behave, the way that you treat others and all this stuff, that's indicative of who you are. And you're not doing those things to put others down. Right. You're not behaving in a way that is consciously making other people feel fucking shit. So that's the difference between you and your ex, because he has fucking fun doing that. He enjoyed doing that.
Yeah. I think, maybe it's not my intention to ever make someone feel bad, but maybe sometimes...
You can take accountability for making those mistakes, but like I said, they are mistakes.
Yes.
It is never your intention to do that kind of thing, and I know that. So... That
was my thought process. Like, I was never thinking, like, I want to fucking crush my ex. I want to destroy them.
Yeah.
Emotionally, mentally, whatever. Like, I was caught up in my own head.
Yeah. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But that's why it's like, don't go saying that, oh, I was a bad person too.
Yeah.
Don't go making excuses for the bad people who are consciously doing those things.
Yeah.
So,
anyway.
I forgot where we started with that because I got angry. Anyone who's like, this dumb bitch, get it the fuck together. Men ain't shit. Men ain't fucking shit. You don't owe them shit. Don't cry for them.
Don't cry for them, yeah.
God. Embarrassing.
Yeah. I felt pretty embarrassed after.
Good. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
Let that be the reason you don't do it again.
This is the most I've seen Greg react to like what you said. I get it.
Yeah. But look, that's why I get so heated. I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think, and I've said this before, we've literally discussed this. You have such a strong support network.
Yeah.
Having that post-breakup is so important.
Yeah. My friends have been really good to me.
Exactly. But that's why it's like, you have all these people who love you, who support you.
Yeah.
That makes it twice as frustrating for me. Because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I had very few people. You were one of them towards the end of it when I was having these issues with the last person.
Rick?
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's like I had very few people supporting me. I had no family. And yet you've got this whole world of people who love you and who are trying to look after you.
Yeah.
And you were spitting in their faces by choosing to obsess over this piece of shit.
I know. My family, my brother and my dad especially have been like...
Exactly. I feel so bad for them.
They've been so fed up with like... They've said, Josh, we're trying to help you, but you're not...
You don't want to help yourself.
Listening to us, yeah.
That's why I was like, somewhat briefly, during this 3-month period since you all broke up, I wasn't really engaging with you because I made it very clear. After attempting to help you multiple times, having several discussions, I was like, you don't want to help yourself? No. And that disgusts me. I'm like, there's only so much I can do.
Yeah. Of course.
And I feel so bad for your family because that's what you're choosing to put them through. You're prioritizing the fucking Shrek over people who love you.
Yeah.
So, do better.
Note taken for the future.
Good.
But yeah. Thank you.
Do better, people.
Yeah. I will say, I think recently, this past week, my ex and I have recently cut contact for good.
Yeah, I found this out just before we started filming, that they were still talking that whole time. That's why we acknowledged that before of like, yes, supposed to go no contact, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I initiated the no contact.
Yeah.
I mean, the contact.
Yeah.
And so he was basically like, we need to stop for good. Please don't message me anymore. I'm cutting contact for good. And if you do reach out, I will call the cops. He said that to me. Yeah.
I swear to God, if anyone tries to give me shit for how blunt and aggressive I've been. Case in point.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A through Z.
It's just been a whole fucking messy thing and I just want to be done with it. So
good. Be done with it.
Yeah.
Be fucking done with it. Let it go. Pull an Elsa.
An Elsa. Oh, yes. I was like, who's that?
It's one thing for it to be an amicable breakup, but I got very lucky with Kim and that was after a lot of like not so good stuff. Yeah. And that's because he's a good person at heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'd be without him now.
Yeah.
So that's like just to acknowledge both sides of yes, it can work and a lot of the times it won't. So stop trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking take the hint.
Yeah. I should have taken the hint long before now.
Long before.
I'm an idiot, but yeah.
Good.
Is there anything else you wanted to discuss about your break?
Anything else to yell at you about, huh?
No, about like your breakups, because I feel like it's been a lot about me.
Well, my breakups, my first boyfriend was a fucking cunt. And that was the biggest one that I absolutely failed to move on from self-respectably. We were high school boyfriends.
Oh, yeah.
So senior high school.
Yeah.
And he was manipulative. He was a compulsive liar. He cheated on me. He would like lie to everyone else about me. Use me as an excuse as to why he couldn't attend things or this or that or whatever. Even his own mother he lied to about apparently going on breaks in our relationship.
Oh.
And because we'd never had that discussion, like myself and his mum, it came out much later on and then neither of us addressed it because I was too young. It didn't click.
Right.
And I noticed she was like a bit confused.
Yeah.
Because she was under the impression that we had been on breaks. Multiple breaks in our relationship where we weren't together. And I know for a fact that he would have said this as an excuse for hooking up with somebody else. Super manipulative, such a cunt. He treated me like shit. It wasn't at first though. It came out later.
Right.
The other side of it too is I grew up abused. I was still living in an abusive household. So by the time things were ending and everything was going wrong, I was so desperate to hold on to what I believed was like the good side of him. I couldn't let go. I was so like, no, but he was like this for so long. It doesn't make sense. And I didn't have anyone else. I felt like he was all I had. And again, just to tie it back to before, that's why it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I was alone. I didn't have any friends to help out. My family was abusing me. Like my parents were abusive. So I felt like all I had was my ex. That's why I couldn't let go.
Yeah.
Whereas you've had like fucking everyone and their fucking dog. It was a very bad, very, very, very fucking bad breakup.
Relatable.
Yeah. There's some stuff I could get into, but I don't think it's worth it. So there was that. I feel like there was someone else after, and I don't remember who that was.
Oh, good.
No, actually, because it wasn't like an actual relationship. It wasn't like official.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
like
it was some bullshit. Yeah, it was very situationshipy.
Okay.
So that would have been the first one, and I was still very young. I was like 18.
Oh.
And this guy was older, and I found out later on that he was a total pedophile. Oh. So like, yeah, I hate that guy.
Gross.
I've since called him out because he's made attempts to get in touch with me over the years.
Right.
He's like, because I'm the best sex he's ever had, because of course I fucking am. And he just, the last time we spoke, he attempted to guilt trip me. Okay. So he's like...
What is it with men and guilt tripping?
Oh, just to get what they want.
Yeah.
Stand-up manipulation, man. Like, I just...
Don't get it.
I can't remember half of what he said, but I distinctly remember one of his reasons, I guess, for coercing me into sex was like, oh, I've had a cancer scare.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And he knew that my mum had died from cancer because he was still around at that time. And by the way, when she died, he kind of bailed because I was going through a lot.
Fucking cunt.
Yeah. He said that and I was just like, are you fucking joking?
What a loser.
I told him what I really thought.
Yeah.
And I confronted him about him being a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
So...
How old was he?
Oh, he lied about his age too. So when I got with him at the age of 18, I thought he was like 30 something, like early 30s.
He was much older.
He was like 40 plus.
Gross. That sounds familiar though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was guy number 2.
Yeah.
And then guy number 3 was Kim. And one of the reasons I even got with an older guy at that time, I was like, surely an older guy would be more mature, right? And he'd have his shit together. And no, this ex-military piece of shit was such a cunt.
Oh.
He's not a good person either.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Very, like, exceedingly mentally manipulative.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Kim and I were just incompatible.
Yeah.
And then there was like a situationship after that, which I'm not going to go over. You already know about that. And that did not end well either.
No.
But I've learnt my lessons.
You've learnt your lessons and you've found your person now.
Yes, 100%.
And it's good.
Yeah, and it is.
Can't wait for the wedding. But yeah.
Though to keep this discussion about breakups.
Yes.
Okay. God, I don't know if I should be asking you this.
Please do.
What would you say is like an appropriate way to break up with someone?
Over the phone?
This is why you're not the right person to talk to. You got your standards are too fucking low.
No, wait. Okay.
You're like, no, I'll get it right.
Let me try again.
Yeah.
No, my most recent ex, he wanted to call me and break up with me over the phone. And I didn't want to, I knew what was coming, but I just didn't want to speak about it over the phone.
No, so, you wanted to try convince him not to break up with you at all, which means doing so in person. But realistically, if you're going to break up with someone properly, you do it in person.
Yeah. If you're going to break up with someone, I'd prefer over text.
You'd prefer over text?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah, even Greg's like, what the fuck? This boy needs help. I mean, look, if you can handle a text breakup, good for you.
Or in person.
I think, you know what though? No, you know what?
I'm just going to shut up.
It's more relative to how long you've been together. I feel if you've not been together for very long, which you're right, you weren't. So a text breakup's totally appropriate.
We did know each other since October.
That doesn't count.
We had that history.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
Like, you were together for 3 days, text breakup makes sense. And yeah, whereas in my case, I guess I'm so used to the idea of an in-person breakup because I was with these guys for like minimum 2 years.
Okay. Must be nice having a relationship that lasts longer than 3 months.
Yeah, I know, right? I've never been that person because that's the other thing too. I'm not going to get with just anybody.
Yeah.
in sex or in relationships, I have standards. So particularly with relationships, the only way I'm gonna become boyfriends is if I truly believe that there is a future together.
Yes. And at first, I did see a future with my ex.
You'd see a future with anyone.
Stop. I did because, anyway. But unfortunately, that was ripped away, so.
It was a blessing.
Yeah.
Everything you've said today, you must know it's a good thing.
But, like, knowing what I know as well, what went down in our relationship.
It doesn't matter.
It's like it was, toxic anyway.
Yeah. Unless I see a future with them,
yes,
then I'm not going to be a boyfriend. Yeah. More importantly, there has to be a spark. Yes. I have to feel that connection and see that you're a good guy and have all these green flags.
Exactly.
And, keep your standards high when it comes to getting together with somebody.
Yes. If you're not dating for marriage, you're dating for heartbreak, basically.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's the first smart thing you've said today.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a
quote that I shared on Facebook.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And he reacted to it, so how did that work out?
Anyway, why'd you have to ruin it?
I know. I ruined my one good moment.
Yeah.
But just saying in hindsight,
hindsight's 2020. Congratulations.
Yeah, so, I hope my next relationship is one that will not end. Because what are you giving me those judgmental looks for?
Just focus on yourself first.
Yeah, I am.
I'm not
ready for anything.
Yeah, you realize that's the solution to your problem of eternal loneliness is the fact that...
Did you say eternal? Excuse me. I don't want to be alone forever, okay?
And you won't, so long as you address your issues.
Right, yeah.
Right? It's
honey, I'm
yourself out. Yeah. Tidy up your own house before you start inviting people over.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah. Of course.
And honestly, once you get yourself together, that's when the guys flock to you.
Yeah.
They love disturbing your peace.
Oh.
It's a very big trope.
Yeah.
In life.
Yes, it is.
They see you're doing well. They see that you're happy. They see that you're thriving and surviving.
And they're like,
then they come out of the fucking woodwork. That's why, during the dating episode when we were talking about it, like you said, I had my pick of the litter.
Yeah.
I had all these guys who were interested in me romantically.
Let me take a pic. No.
And I didn't want any of them.
Yeah. You're no thank you.
Yeah. Because it wasn't right.
No. Yeah.
Whereas you're just here I had a date one time. This is my husband.
Me.
That's what I said. It was you.
Yeah.
Stop.
Literally. I get attached so quickly to people.
It's the loneliness.
Yeah.
Sort it out. I'm drilling that into your fucking...
of loneliness here. Girl.
So, before we wrap up, let's talk about the other kind of breakup, which is friendship breakups.
Yes.
I've had many of those. Many of those.
Oh, yeah. Many. Same.
I don't know if I've had any that were it felt like I was losing a best friend. I don't think I've had that. Because it helps to have friends.
Yes.
And I didn't used to have any, really. Very few.
Wow.
But I've had close friends that I've lost for various reasons.
Yeah.
Either due to their issues or me being overbearing. With BPD, most people have a favorite person, which is someone that you are very emotionally tied to. Mm-hmm. And gonna be real, it's not healthy. Because that person becomes the reason for whether you're happy or not.
Yeah.
Your happiness is dependent on them. And them giving you attention and them being around you a lot.
I feel like that's what I relied on in my most recent relationship. I based all my happiness on this one person.
Oh yeah, that's very common for people to think that a significant other is going to be the solution for their happiness. It's going to be their reason for happiness.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be the reason.
No.
They should be enhancing it, lifting you up.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
Adding to it.
It's a bonus, not the reason for it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So.
But as far as BPD is concerned, the whole favorite person thing is not healthy. And I learned how to not do that. Because I resented the fact that I had to be dependent on somebody else for my happiness.
Yeah.
I was like, why can't I be my own favorite person?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be them?
Yeah.
And I was sick of it. I had enough. And so I learned how to exist without it.
Yeah. And that's the lesson I'm learning like right now is that, you know, I need to learn to be happy on my own and not with another person.
Mm-hmm. So in regards to friendship breakups, it's like in those cases, I actually had a few favorite people in that context. Yeah. And that's why it didn't work out because it's so much pressure.
Yeah.
It's not good. No. It's too much. It should be balanced. Any relationship should be fucking balanced.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
should go both ways. Yeah.
But in saying that, a lot of the time they have shit going on too. You know, maybe they weren't the best people. Maybe they were problematic in some way.
Yeah.
I know that one of the more recent ones, he went into a drug psychosis and cut off all his friends. You know about that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And in that case, that was one of the first times that I was like, all right. I just accepted it. Radical acceptance. And I moved the fuck on.
Yeah.
I was like, you're kind of problematic anyway.
Yeah. I guess like with my friendship breakups, you know, I feel most of them have been like ones that I've just drifted apart from naturally.
That does happen a lot.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel natural anymore. It feels forced.
Yeah.
You know, times change and people change and that's it. But a few of them were horrible friends to me. That
I totally get that.
Yeah.
100%.
That just turned on me for no reason when I didn't even do anything to them.
Yeah.
Or they always had it out for me. Like a lot of my gay friends or gay former friends that I've had were just downright fucking mean and horrible to me for no reason. I think
because they all want to be fucking mean girls.
Yeah. It's like, what is it with the gay fucking Sydney gays?
Sydney gays.
Yeah, it's like, you know, just be nice. It's not necessary.
It's not that fucking hard.
Yeah.
But it's because a lot of them are so narcissistic.
Yes.
And they're very just
or
like...
sociopathic.
Yeah, they're just so up themselves and think they're top shit.
Yeah.
You know what happens? When excellence enters the room, mediocrity gets paranoid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, that's such a good saying.
I know. That's what I've had to live with my entire fucking life.
I was at a gay event with like my gay friends and one of the fuckwits was being a cunt to me. And one of the other gays was like, to him, oh, my God, that's so mean.
Yeah.
Like, even
just call him out.
Yeah. I was like, Josh, you should give it back to him. Like, just don't fucking cop that shit. I was like, yeah. But I was like 18. I was not as outspoken as I am now.
It's also really difficult because like I remember, again, pre-diagnosis, just I was so innocent. Like I couldn't imagine treating other people that way.
Yeah.
And so when I copped it, it was always a surprise, which is wild when I grew up abused. Yeah. I knew nothing but negative treatment from the people around me.
Yeah.
And yet whenever I met somebody new, I was always attempting to treat them with kindness. And I know it wouldn't always translate because of my BPD. Like I was just very bad at communicating with people.
Yes.
But I wasn't ever mean to them.
No. Yes.
Breakups.
I
think this concludes a little therapy session.
Yes. Thank you for the therapy.
You're welcome. You owe me multiple 100 drinks for that.
Yes. Karaoke and glitch.
Yeah. Or you could just pay me.
Yeah, I'll transfer you.
Yeah, sounds good.
You can't force something that's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Do not force it.
I've learned that the hard way, so... Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes that's what it takes.
Yes.
I had to learn the hard way too. Yeah. Because when you're going through it, you don't want to listen to anyone else.
No, exactly. Breakups can be hard, they can be amicable. Every breakup is different, so, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a fact of life.
Just do what's right for you and to protect your heart and yourself.
Whatever feels right for you, even if it hurts another person, you have to do what's right
for you. As in, do what's actually right for you. Don't do what you think
is right.
Like, don't go embarrassing yourself. Stop chasing after a man.
Yeah.
They'll come to you.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking badass and like slaying, kiki, whatever the gays say.
If it feels right, it feels right. You'll know when it feels right. So
that's true.
Don't force anything.
Don't be afraid to say no until the right one comes along.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And he came along.
Yeah. Kiss all the frogs until you find your prince.
No, that's gross. Don't kiss him. Some of them.
Yeah, some of them. When you're drunk and horny, yeah.
It's 2024. Use men.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a great slogan.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. So.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Andre. It was great to be back. Can't wait to be back for more in the future.
I hope you enjoyed being berated for your stupidly dumb decisions.
I always do. I always look forward to these podcast sessions.
I hope you've learned something today.
I have. I really have.
I really fucking hope you have.
Yes.
Because God knows it hasn't worked till now, so.
You got angry at me on camera.
Exactly. Yeah. And now you can watch it back again and again. And anytime you come to me looking for fucking advice, because you do.
Just replay that.
I'll just send you the link. That concludes our episode on breakups. This has been
Sabotage. Bye. And I felt bad because, like...
I feel bad for him. I feel bad because it's embarrassing for you.
You know, we were supposed to go no contact.
Yeah, so why didn't that happen? It wasn't just because of you. I reckon he allowed it. Because he wanted to reiterate the gaslighting stuff into you. He wanted to be like, remember that this is your fault.